All right, ISHI 32, here we are with Larry Wein. How are you doing, Larry?
I'm doing well. How about you, Travis?
I'm doing really well, thanks.
That's good.
So, how many ISHIs have you been to?
This is my first,
Your
and I'm really
first.
enjoying it. I really only know two people here,
Okay.
the two DNA Doe founders, so I showed up. It's a really friendly group, so I got to meet a lot of people, and it's really interesting talk, so it's great.
That is great. So,
It is.
did you give a talk, right?
I gave a talk this morning.
What was your topic?
My topic was focusing on the genealogy part of the process
Okay.
of investigative genetic genealogy, so it's really the most lengthy part of the process
Yeah.
and possibly a bottleneck to solving crimes. So I did what we did, the first detailed mathematical analysis of this problem.
Okay, so are you a mathematician? Are you
I am an applied
you are
mathematician.
in applied
Yes, yes,
mathematics?
yes, yes.
Okay. I don't
That's
know.
a conversation.
Yeah, I am gonna. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, you're gonna hate this, Larry. But in college, I flunked the same math class twice.
Twice. That's
Yes,
impressive.
that is impressive. But I'm gonna tell you, that third time, A.
All right.
Yeah,
Good
I
job.
had
Just
seen
keep
everything
plugging
enough.
away.
It just took me a while to let that mathematics sink into my brain. But yeah, so applied mathematics, and then what do you apply this towards anything else? I mean, you're doing
Yeah,
the
so I've
genetics.
been working, I work in a lot of different fields, but within
Okay.
fields related to this, I've worked on solving violent crimes on and off for 15 years. So I worked on the U.S. visit program
Okay.
and
Okay.
did congressional testimony, and that led to a switch from a 2 to a 10 finger system at the airports for non-citizens coming in.
Okay.
And I've worked on, in the last few years, sexual assault kits and also ballistic imaging.
And so you just are applying mathematical statistics to that, or?
Yeah, I'm more of a probabilist than a
Probabilist,
statistician,
okay.
but yeah, I mean, I'm taking like this problem of genealogy. You're
Yeah.
given the output from GEDmatch and FTDNA. How do you actually find the unknown person? And you can write this problem out mathematically. It's quite complicated, but you can write it out and figure out, well, this is the likelihood, if you spend this
Okay.
much time working on it, this is the probability that you're going to be able to find the target.
Okay.
And then to actually come up with new ways of solving them that
Yeah.
are better than the standard ways.
Wow, that's impressive. So I have a daughter who's really into math, unlike I was.
Yeah.
She wants to be an actuarial scientist.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are there any sort of comparisons to probabilistic mathematics or any of that, or is this an entirely different field? Are they
No.
very different?
No, it still uses probability and
Okay.
statistics and does similar calculations that you learn, in your basic classes. So it's not too unrelated.
Okay, and you work at Stanford, right?
Yeah.
And so you, I think, are ahead of like 130 PhD students, right?
Oh, right, I am. Yeah,
Right?
I'm in the-
Okay.
Yeah.
And so do you have many of those students who are interested in the kind of things that you're doing? Like, are you teaching that at Stanford?
No, I'm not teaching this
Okay,
at all.
okay.
So I teach what's called operations management to
Okay.
the first year MBA students, so Master of Business.
Okay.
And this is about like how do you run a factory, how you manage a factory, manage a supply chain, manage a service operation. And in a sense, that's what I'm trying to do here. How do you manage this
Yeah.
operation of repetitively trying to solve these crimes?
Yep. Yep.
So that's why I teach MBA students. I teach a PhD class, but it's really a specialized, pretty advanced class.
Okay. And it's not specific to this kind of genealogy
No,
or anything?
it's really, I'm kind of a fish out of water. Most people work in the private sector,
Yeah.
their research, and
Right.
since the last 20 years, since the September 11th attacks, I've been working mostly in the public sector, in public health and security, and now in crime.
Okay. That's fantastic. So I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing, because I like to say that to all the guests, because you're really making a difference, right, in people's lives. When you're, doing these analyses and you're finding these, people that have been missing or people who have committed crimes, thank you very much for doing that. It's amazing.
Okay, thank you, Travis.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you have any particular cases that you were a part of that you got to hear from the start to the end?
I haven't. So I'm
Okay.
really doing on the research side at this
Okay.
point. So I'm working with the people at the DNA Doe Project, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
yes.
fascinating nonprofit company.
Yes, I talked to some fellows.
Yeah, and
from
Margaret
yeah.
and Colleen are
Yeah.
the co-founders. And so they gave us data on 17 cases. So we're using their data both to assess the policies and estimate the basic parameters of our model. And then the next step will be to try to refine and use this model, for real cases. But that, that may be a year or so down the line. But that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's so neat.
Yeah.
And how did you find out about that DNA Doe? Like, did you go looking for that, or did somebody come to you and say, "Hey, can we work this together?"
I've been working on sexual assault hits and homicides, and then I read in the paper about like most other people, about the Golden State Killer. And
Okay.
then, I looked at the literature of what's out there of how to do this, and I found a few papers on kind of the front end of the process that
Sure.
were really nice, but no one had looked at the back end, and so I just jumped right in.
That's very
So it's really been an honor to meet the leaders and
Yeah.
pioneers in this field.
Yeah, and I think they're all here. I mean, she's pretty good at making a draw on the leaders in DNA and all of that. So, this is your first issue. Do you feel like you're going to come back for another? Do you think this is an annual thing for you now?
Well, I think it depends on how long I work in the field, but
Sure.
I hope to, I think there's further work to build on here,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping to collaborate with some of the key people and the key companies in the field, so I'm hoping that I'll be back for the next several years at least.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah. So I've been asking everybody the same question.
Yeah.
Which Disney character do you most identify with?
Right. So
gonna ask you that one.
Yes, I did a little research on this one.
Okay.
And I have a pet rabbit at home that lives in my living room.
What? I have a
Yeah.
pet rabbit
Do
too.
you really?
I
All right.
do.
I have a California white rabbit. They have red eyes. And it was my
Wow.
daughter's rabbit, but of course she's left the house
Yeah,
now.
now
and
it's
I'm-
your rabbit.
now it's
That's how I got my
rabbit.
rabbit too. It's amazing. Okay.
So, during COVID, she was she was great company.
Yeah.
And so I choose the white rabbit,
Okay.
which is a Disney character.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. From Alice in Wonderland, right?
And, and a great rock song from
Yes.
Jefferson Airplane.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is a great song. That's neat. Another question I might ask you is, what is something that people might not know about you?
I don't think people know anything about me. I mean, I can tell you a little, the research that I'm kind of best known for
Yeah.
is that the recipe for pasteurizing milk in this country has been intensified.
Really?
Based on my work. If there were a botulinum attack, this is right after 9/11, where there was thoughts that there'd be a botulinum toxin attack,
Yeah.
and found that it could kill several 100,000 people, and they intensified the milk pasteurization formula as a result of that, and now it has a slightly caramelized flavor, which most people, they've done a lot of taste tests, and most people like it better.
Wow. No kidding.
Yes, yes.
So based on your analysis and whatever you were doing,
Right.
they actually changed the formulation or how they do pasteurization.
Yeah.
Well, that went unnoticed, I'm going to have to say, in the news articles, because I don't remember reading anything about that, but I still enjoy milk very much from Wisconsin. So we're pretty particular about our milks. I mean, we like, our certain kinds, Is it Kemp's? Is it Dean's? So that's very interesting. That's very neat. Well, my gosh, Larry, it was so nice getting to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Travis.
Really nice to chat. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you again.
Yeah,
Thanks,
bye-bye.
Larry.
Yeah.